highlighter every time we have a test or a check-in, and we read through. Our teacher will give us a few minutes each time, and we'll highlight the most important things in the question and background, and it really helps because then we get to know more about it. So when we're reading it over to answer questions, like, things really pop out.
Yeah.
And what are the guidelines that I put up on the board during the preview process? What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do?
Don't
answer questions.
Oh yeah, we're not allowed to start, but we're allowed to highlight and read over.
And do you guys feel like that helps you, as you were saying,
Yes.
helps you
Yes.
prepare?
It really helps because once I'm answering the question, if I weren't to highlight, I wouldn't know what's most important, what it's really asking in the question. So by highlighting really important things, like even if you bring up something, make sure you highlight something in question 1.
Yeah.
It really helps because when I'm going to answer that question, I know to look at this and to remember that when I'm answering it.
Can you say more about what you said about going through it before we take it?
Oh, so before we take it, she gives us like 3 minutes, 2 minutes? How many?
I think it's about 5.
5
usually.
minutes? Okay. 5 minutes to like highlight the most important pieces of the questions that you need to answer the question. So, for example, for the background, so Dave Grohl had musical hearing loss because he played the drums, and he played it very loud, obviously, all the time. So he got very serious hearing loss, and I highlighted that, so different frequencies, different pitch sounds, stuff like that. That was very important. Or on this question, it says use specific numbers from page 317, or use progress tracker 6 to answer a different part of the question. So it gives you information about what you should go back into your binder for to figure out the question.
And after everybody's done highlighting, what do I usually do next with you guys?
So we go over so you ask us about each question, see if you have any questions about it. If we do, we can ask them, and then you'll explain it, but you obviously can't give us the answers, but you'll explain the question further so we can understand.
How do you feel when you're taking an assessment like this?
It's like always gonna be like a little scary because assessments are stressful, but especially in science, it's a little easier because you get your notes and you prepare us really well, and it's just like you have everything you need, and so it's not that bad like compared to other.
Going into tests, say in French class or in math class, I don't feel as prepared as I do in here because yes, we've been working on it for several times and learning the concepts, but on a test, some people just blank and they don't know what it's on because you've been learning about it, but you don't get posters or get to use your binder because it's not cheating. It's using what you've learned to back up your answer.
Yeah.
So by using these things, I feel prepared when I come in here. I don't feel stressed because when I walk in the store and I know I'm taking a test, I don't feel stressed. I feel prepared because I know you guys set us up for success.
Yeah. Because I know exactly what to put on the answer when there are like check boxes to know what happens, and I can really tie together all of the information using the check boxes.
And what's this question about? Or what's this whole assessment about?
Like growth plates and cells replicating.
Did we ever talk about growth plates in class before you took this assessment?
No, we didn't.
So how are you supposed to take an assessment about growth plates if we've actually never really learned about them together?
Well, we learned about cells and cells replicating, and so we kind of know how the cells act and how like the body acts when there's like the cartilage and the growth plates. And on the front, it also provides you a little information about the growth plates, about how they're like cartilage and whatnot.
I noticed that, so after the first day you guys started the assessment, I looked them over after you left, and I noticed that people were struggling with
On this first question,
with that
yeah.
one. So what should teachers do, or what can teachers do if they notice that students are struggling with a question that might help them move forward with the assessment?
I think hearing what other people have to say about it, like what they know, because you might not know something that other people know, so have them talk it over and figure out what they need to figure out.
And can you say more about how we addressed that in our classroom?
So we went over the question, you asked us, what do you think, and then we all raised our hands, and then we kind of sort of like, not debated it, but like, I disagreed with some people, they disagreed with me, and then we came to a conclusion that this is the answer.
And how did you guys do that? How did you come to like a conclusion, a consensus? Because you just said there was some disagreement. How did you work that out with your group?
we used our binders to figure out like what we supported our reasonings for why we thought what we thought, and then we came down to maybe we were both wrong or one of us was right, one of us wasn't, but yeah, we just came down to a conclusion from what we already know.
And after you guys discussed and everything and you got your assessment back, how did you address, what did you do next after we went through that routine?
I went over it, saw what I did wrong, thought about what we already talked about, and then I did what I had to do. Yep.
And again, is that like cheating? Is that making it too
No,
obvious?
I don't think it's cheating. I think it's a way to, you're learning, you know? That's what you have to do sometimes. You just gotta learn new things.